Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. As you already know, today is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. I know some of you are watching and you see a different backdrop this morning. Uh, I just woke up this morning and just felt in my spirit that I needed to be outside just to get a hear, as you can hear the animals and whatnot, but just feel the presence of God and all of His creations this morning. This morning is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be before you very long at all. It's one of those things you've heard me. You heard me talk about before if you've been fellowshipping with us for a while. But in this thing called life, there is really no such thing as balance. What we should do as believers is that we push all into God, and then we allow God to direct our paths in each and every moment, in each and every day of our lives. And so, for me, today is one of those days. Uh, we had every expectation and every anticipation of going forward with our series, A Love Supreme. We are now on part six. And uh, A Love Supreme Part Six, Freedom to Fall, is what this will be entitled once we bring that before you on next week. Just a couple of things that I wanted to share with you this week. And once I share these things with you, we will be done. Going back to that piece about pushing all into God and then allowing God to direct our paths. When you do that, God will many times and almost it's essentially every day when you awake, when you rise, God will tell you who you need to focus on being that day. Some days it will be father, some days it will be mother, some days it will be sister, daughter, some days it will be employee, some days it will be friend. And God will say, this is who I need you to be. This is who those surrounding you need you to be. And this is who I release you to be today. And so today is one of those days where, as I prepared for bed last night, as I was awakened this morning, God placed in my spirit that the focus of my day today is to be husband, is to be father. And so anyway I can be available as husband and father, that is my priority today. This will all make sense here in just a moment. The first update I would like to give is that over the last month or so, maybe even the last couple of months, I have been sharing that we will be going into our new church space on next Sunday, which is the second Sunday in August. Well, things happen. Things happen in this thing called life, and things change. And so, with that being said, that will be delayed. We will not go into the new church space until the first Sunday in September. So, for those of you friends, family, those that are simply looky loos that just wanted to come see what was going on, that will not take place on next week. It will actually take place on the first Sunday in September. Reason being is that a few weeks ago we received some course altering news to a degree. My oldest daughter, my middle child, Erica, had a doctor's appointment a little bit over 3 weeks ago, and she had a biopsy done. And at the conclusion and the results of that biopsy, we found out that she was positive for lymphoma, and uh, specifically Hodgkin's lymphoma. We did all the follow up testings and the consultations and things of this nature. And on Friday of this week, we met with the oncologist. We found out the staging of the cancer. We found out the treatment plan. So she has Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 2A, and she will have to go through a 4 round treatment of chemotherapy. As you can imagine, this was unplanned. This was unexpected. It was nowhere on her radar or nowhere on the radar of anybody in my family. So it delayed momentarily everything that we had going on in each of our lives that was not about her. So now we have an understanding of what's going on. We have an understanding of what this journey will look like. And so now, it allows us to a degree to get our everyday lives back on course as we now understand the journey that we must take with her. Side note, it is so interesting. It's so profound how God does things. And so, if you listen and you recall, many of the sermons that we've done over the last month and a half, 2 months, little did I know, as I was sharing what God laid in my heart and as I was speaking into your lives, I had no idea when we talked about the process and the pain of the process and all of these things. I had no idea that God was preparing me and preparing my family for a journey that we are about to embark on. So, the delay uh, primarily is because of what we have been walking through here with Erica close to the last month. I want to say this, as father, as mother, as sister and brother, for the most part, we are doing a okay. We are fine. Aside from the unexpected shock of hearing the word cancer, that's not something that anybody is expecting to hear, especially when you have already had up close and personal confrontations with it. Uh, for those that do not know, you never want to hear the word cancer, but if you did have to ever hear that word, Hodgkin's lymphoma is the word or the definition that you would want to hear. Uh, there is a greater than 90% remission rate, even at stage 4. And Erica's at stage 2. There's a greater than 90% remission rate. So we thank God and we celebrate God for that and the positive prognosis. Now we invite each and every one of you to join us in prayer, to join us in intercession, to align your belief and your faith with ours. Hear me very carefully. This is the pastor, but this is also the Father speaking. We invite your prayers. We invite your faith. We invite your intercession. Uh, we invite your love. We invite your support. However, we reject your experience. We reject your fear. We reject your disbelief. And so you now know that when you want to share, when you want to visit, when you want to support, leave every ounce of negativity at the door. Leave every ounce of fear at the door. We are operating in a season of belief. We are operating with the mindset that we know that in the life of his child, that I have the privilege, that Michelle has the privilege to have guardianship over. We expect God to show up and to show out on her behalf. So again, now it all makes sense. So as we've made this journey the last several weeks, it's like but you don't know. And so Friday was the culmination of a lot of things that were being suppressed, that were being held in, that, we understood, but we did not quite have clarity because we had not yet talked to the oncologist to get the classification and the treatment plan. And so we have all of that. And as I'm sure many of you can imagine, or for anyone that has ever walked through this before, it is a big emotional relief, but then there's also this dare I say spiritual, mental, and physical exhaustion by way of letting go of all of these things that you have been holding in. And so that's where I am, that's where we are as a family. I'm always careful. And again, as I said at the very beginning, it was my plan to go ahead and forge forward with what we have prepared for you this week that you'll now get on next week. But I'm always very careful to make sure that where I am mentally, where I am physically, where I am spiritually is a clean place. And whatever it is God gives me to give to you does not come through the filter of my current life experiences. And so with all of that, God graced me, God released me today again to focus as father and to focus as husband. Uh, I pray that you understand. I pray that you receive, what God has set forth for today. As I begin to wrap this thing up again, we look forward to the celebration of going into our new space on the first Sunday in September. Uh, I encourage you that if you have not watched all of this A Love Supreme series, that this particular Sunday you go back, you catch up, you see what God has been speaking, and you get caught up in preparation of what He will speak on next Sunday. I encourage you to pray specifically, for whatever city you might be in. There's so much going on around us uh, specifically here in Cincinnati. I ask that you pray for the city, you pray for the city's leadership, you pray for the citizens of this city. With that, we pray. We are on. There's so much going on that in every pocket of society, we find ourselves on the precipice of a powder keg. I know that's true here in Cincinnati. I know that is true of my home city, Birmingham, Alabama. So collectively, the sons and daughters of God, we need to pray that His Spirit, that His fragrance would just come forth over each and every one of our cities and this nation as a whole. So again, it is what with much gratefulness that God would choose me to lead this charge for my family. It is with excitement and in great anticipation that we go through the process that now we must walk through. My daughter and we as a family must walk through, and we look forward coming out of the other side. In fact, we are sitting in great anticipation of whatever the will of God might be, whatever the purpose of God might be, that He would have her walk through this particular season in her life, whatever that thing is that God is trying to reveal to her, to myself, to her siblings, or anyone else that is connected to her. We celebrate even now of the clarity that God will give us for the purpose of all of this. Again, uh, come back next week where we will pick up our series, A Love Supreme Part 6, Freedom to Fall. Uh, Join us in prayer, join us in intercession, and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you here on this stream on next week. God love you and be blessed.